Well, time really flies. I never thought I'd collect every Metallica album. Well, the only one that I don't have is Saint Anger, but I thought, for a little something special, I wanted to do a little showcasing of my Metallica collection. These are all my Metallica CDs. The one is actually a live album, but who cares? We'll count that, because it's still Metallica, and yeah. We'll get into these. First off, Metallica's first album, Kill 'Em All. Very good album. Like I've said in the past, I think their old stuff is just so much better than their new stuff. It's more catchy, more... it kind of draws me back into it. Their new stuff kind of just doesn't really draw me back as much as their old stuff do. Their first three records, I think, are their best, in my opinion. Their newest record is a good comeback. It's kind of like a return to form, but it's still not the same. But yeah, Kill 'Em All. Some really great tracks on here, like Hit the Lights, The Four Horsemen, and Metal Militia. Really stellar tracks on there. The next one that came after that is Ride the Lightning. Also just a fantastic album. I actually think this is the one that I go to the most. This is probably my most listened to Metallica album. A lot of classics on here. Definitely a great record. Ride the Lightning, definitely so good. It was actually one of my first ones. It was like the second one I ever bought. It's such a good one. The first Metallica album I ever bought will be the next one, Master of Puppets. Yeah, this here is probably also my favorite Metallica album ever. I listen to this one a lot too. This is also one that I go to a lot. It's, like I said, probably my favorite Metallica album. Battery, Master of Puppets, Disposable Heroes, Damage Inc. A lot of good ones on here. You might want to check this out as a first Metallica album, because it was my first. But yeah, we get into the next one, which is And Justice for All. It's a pretty good album as well. I don't like it as much as I do Master of Puppets, but it's still a good record. The drum work on this record, for one, is excellent. It's one of the best drum work by Metallica ever. I think the worst thing about this record, ironically, I think it's the vocals. I'm not too big of a fan of the vocals on this record, but there are still some really great tracks on there. Next up, we get into Metallica, the Black Album, aka the self-titled one. It's a bit weaker than And Justice for All. One of my problems with this album is I feel like it's a little too long. It's a lot longer than the albums before this. It's like 12 tracks long. The albums before this had like 8. So I think that's pretty nuts. But yeah, it's not one of my favorites, but it's a pretty good release. Enter Sandman, Sad But True, The Unforgiven, Wherever I May Roam, and Nothing Else Matters. Really great tracks. Nothing Else Matters is probably the track that I go to the most on this record. But yeah, it's like one of the greatest things about this. Next, we get into Metallica Load. Probably my least favorite that I have, besides Saint Anger, even though I don't have Saint Anger. But as far as the ones that I have, this one's my least favorite. It's not really that memorable. There's the one track on here, I think, Until It Sleeps is probably the best track on the record. I really liked it. I really like it. Maybe some of the other ones will grow on me a little bit, but it's by far it's probably my least favorite one that I have. But pretty decent. Next we get into Reload. It's better than Load, I think. The songs are definitely more memorable on here. Fuel, Memory Remains, The Unforgiven Part 2, Where the Wild Things Are. I feel like there's a lot of better tracks on this album than the Load. But yeah, that's Reload. Next we get into Death Magnetic. This was actually one of the ones that got me into the band. I just never really got the chance to pick it up till later on. Such a good album though. It was a great return from that mess that was the Load saga and then Saint Anger. I'm sure a lot of Metallica fans just gave up. I mean, Reload was okay, but I'm sure after those 3 records they just were like, okay, I'm done with Metallica. But Death Magnetic really was a return to form. They brought the good Metallica back. It sounds a little different, a little more modern, but still good. I like the sound that's in this. But yeah, next up we get into Metallica Through the Never. Like I said, this is the live one. I think it's based on a film. Yeah. This one's pretty good too. This one was actually given to me as a gift. Not really much to say about it. It's a live album, so yeah. And then of course the newest, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. It's a good album as well. It's definitely up there when it comes to my favorites. It's probably maybe my 4th or 5th favorite, maybe, you know, not counting the first 3, because the first 3 are my favorites. But this will probably rank up to number 4. If not, Death Magnetic may beat it just by a bit. But yeah, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, fantastic album. One of the best albums in 2016 in my opinion. But yeah, it's my Metallica collection. Can't believe I have like almost all of them. So yeah, that was my little showcasing of the Metallica records that I have. Very good. I may not collect any more Metallica albums, being that not only do I have most of them, but I won't buy Saint Anger because it's a terrible, terrible album. But yeah, that kind of wraps this up. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, see you guys later.